Hey, good morning, Teller County. I'm Dan Williams, along with Eric Stone and Bob Campbell. We're here today to talk to you about the ongoing food situation in Teller County. Hey, as we talked about before, how did we get here? Even before the SNAP benefit issues that most of you are tracking, our food banks were under extreme pressure with a 50% increase in most cases of food going out. Had to do with the loss of grants at the state and federal level, along with our supply and distribution. We get our food, for example, from Care and Share, and its banks were empty as well. So we were addressing that problem, moving forward with it, and then the SNAP issue hit. I just want to say that you hear the dialogue in Washington, D.C. about judges' orders, and that, folks, the impacts are already here in Teller County. They've been here for a few weeks, and the county has a plan to get out and help until such time that this is over. Eric?
Yeah, thank you, Dan. And one of the things that we really want to communicate to everybody is that, and there's a lot of information going out in the news right now about, hey, the judge has ordered this, and so they must, even if today they made a decision to begin to restart and refund SNAP, it likely would take well into December for that to happen and for people to actually see those impacts. And as Dan said, there was a bit of a food shortage going into this season anyway. So we have developed a plan with the county working with the local food banks to collect and distribute food through the end of December. And we're going to need your help to do that because we know in Teller County we always take care of our own. So we're setting up distribution sites all over the county. Those sites are going to be available on our website. There'll be some of the normal sites, but then also some additional ones. So the normal sites, which might be fire stations and our actual food banks, are going to be expanded to include schools and other locations around the county. So we really appreciate your help with that. We're also going to be communicating with you the specific items that are needed. We're going to be tracking what's been donated so that we know what we have, but then each of the food banks is going to be communicating back to the county of what their specific needs are, whether that be an immediate or a projected future need, so we can communicate with you so that we don't end up with 400 cases of corn and green beans when what we actually need is something else. So you'll be able to find that information on our website, and we know that you're going to step up. We appreciate you all.
Yeah, this is a great situation where the community helps take care of our own people. We've got 45, 50 people that have been mobilized. We have volunteers, nonprofits, some corporate sponsorships, some faith-based organizations, and some assistance from our county government and the city governments to be able to help coordinate this so we can have the right response for those people who are in need.
Thank you, Bob. And just a couple of rules for the road. We'd ask that when you do donate food that you check the expiration dates. This food is staying in Teller County. It's going to your friends and neighbors. And we do have a food inspection ongoing where we double check. So please make sure that the food is current. In terms of perishables, we do have a number of freezers. The county is kicking in for beef and poultry to make sure that the needs of our elderly and our children and all of our families are being met in terms of protein. We also have a website. That website, fund site, is with Community Partnership. If you donate to that site, it'll be distributed to all 4 food banks. And again, all the food that we're collecting stays here in Teller County. If you have specific needs, if you're aware of shut-ins or folks that are hurting, please give us a call, and we have all those normal sites. When we leave here today, we're going to go out and trap the lines. We're going to go out and talk to folks and see the food pantries again. But again, expect expanded hours and expanded donations and distributions. And we really appreciate your attitudes, and we really appreciate your help. Essentially, 90% of our county is unimpacted, but the 10% that are deeply impacted. So 90% of us will help the other 10% through county oversight and our existing organizations. Any final comments, Eric or Bob?
Well, I think just as a final comment, just so you understand what we're trying to do, is we're setting up a 3-legged stool. One is donations, and that's where you come in. The next part is then storage, which we are anticipating a need for storage. It's in excess of what our current food banks have, so we have that all set up. And the last part is distribution. And for distribution, not only are we going to be utilizing our food banks, but also a series of groups of volunteers around that will be able to help us move food to where it needs to go to make sure that everybody has what they need when they need it. And we appreciate your help.
Yeah, for the faith-based organizations, we've had quite a few calls. We just completed a meeting here where we had faith-based organizations, so we really appreciate it, whether that be donations or monetary or volunteers. And we'll also shout out to our schools. Both of the school districts are conducting food drives. They normally do that this year. Just be assured that those food items that are coming there are going to be put into this. So essentially, wherever you donate, it'll be centralized and distributed appropriately. As we were briefed today, we have one food bank this morning that had a run. We have another food bank that has excess, and that's exactly what Commissioner Stone mentioned. That's where we'll go ahead and do those distributions. Anything final, Bob?
No, there is a place for monetary contributions. Community Partnership has led that to volunteer. It's a separate bank account. The monies will be segregated and distributed equally to the four food banks that are in the Food Bank Alliance.
And then finally, our emergency operations manager, Michelle Boley, is our single source, along with Kevin Tedesco in the sheriff's office. So if you become aware of other needs, we understand that food insecurity is our primary focus, but folks that have made some decisions since the middle of October with regards to food and commodities they may run short on some other items. So if you're aware of that, please call Michelle Boley and let us know, and we'll address those if possible. Final comments, gentlemen?
That's about it, other than, and normally, Dan, you say this, but I'm going to say it, which is check on your neighbors.
Yeah, please.
During this time. And we normally do that during holiday times anywhere, but just check on them and talk with them. There's probably a lot of folks out there, especially those on fixed income, who may have extra need. You can help them directly. For those who are hunters, you can certainly share your wild game because those can't be donated to food banks. But we can get through this together. So start at home, and then start with your neighbors, and then for the levels that you can help, we certainly do appreciate it.
No, Eric's right, and I did forget to mention that. And also wood. There's a lot of folks that are primary heaters of their homes are wood. We have about 160 cords of bucked wood ready to go with organizations. So if that's one of your needs, again, contact Michelle Boley, and we'll see if we can get an organization together. But really appreciate it, gentlemen, and together we're Teller Strong, and we appreciate it. We can get through this.